Ok, trong trong video này thì sẽ đi tìm cái tôi biết nói là cái gì mà đi mấy chục giờ vậy. Tìm thôi.
Like really young. I was like, how is this possible? I was like, that's more than like my mom makes, you know, in like so many years. And
point did you start reading?
Cái gì hôm qua xem qua rồi.
Like investing into the videos at a different scale?
Great question. Literally, after like 2 years, just did that.
Wait, that Jimmy, what? When I think the people, and I would imagine
in that video, so it was like $300.
are probably like,
but people, this is so much money. It's like, Mom, look, $10,000, all 10. All the money I had. It kind of was just some my money. I'm just when I started meeting a few, and then when I was 19, then I had like 10,000 subscribers. Maybe it's like 18, and that's when I started meeting a few other YouTubers online. I'll talk how to drive.
Yeah.
It made like Blur.
Sport the thing here.
Before this,
Fred.
like back then, you're
in your meeting.
after a year, you're like 2 years ahead of the guy.
friends and people
Edited my
like that's a decision to hire
and have her and edit the video. It's like, oh. So hot here. I was like, I don't. Yes, there's a warehouse. I started off in my bedroom, like we talked about earlier, and then I got a little office building, like one basically. But it's 2 rooms. They weren't really that big, and then we outgrew that in like 3 months. And then, you know, my mom told you guys the story yesterday. And then I got a bunch more office space, like 4 or 5 offices, and then I got like a little warehouse. Then I got a bigger warehouse, and then I got kind of like a campus, like 2 warehouses, because like the videos are getting so big, and you have to work on multiple videos at a time. Because take any TV show that does that, upload to YouTube. It's either a retention graph. I bet it's piss poor. You know what I mean? Just to be honest.
So what entertains Mr. Beast? Like, what else are you entertained by?
Oh boy, that's definitely changed over the years. I mean, I watch a ton of anime. I love anime. It's like, it's so creative, and I just try to watch a bunch of different stuff. So a simple thing you learn through watching decisions. I don't know the camera to video.
And then you got
well, I started with an office
building, and that's
walking in.
your mom spending that.
I'd be like, yo, teach me.
I think the from, you know, you spending the most to even the next person.
it's a lot of faith in YouTube.
Oh, ton of faith.
You know,
but I've been doing it for 10 years now.
Yeah.
I'm not losing faith now. Which is like 85% of all YouTube pop, like huge and freaking down.
Spending.
Got so much stuff.
I was sitting here earlier before we started recording, and I got a notification on my watch that was like, "Hey, here's a promo for Beast Burger."
Was it at 4 p.m.?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's when we sent out the notifications today, because it's the perfect time where if you're ordering lunch around like 5 or 6, like it's a reminder.
But I was just like,
or dinner. Sorry.
Did you say ordering? Oh, okay. I was about to say. Did you say ordering? I was like,
dinner.
what time do you eat lunch?
Yeah. So like the conversion's best.
Yeah. Start filming, or when did you get your first space outside of your bedroom?
Ordering food, so I didn't even have to leave my house, so we could keep working. Like, it was that level of obsession. It was just dumb. It was so unhealthy.
Do you still talk to some of those people?
Oh, I talked to all of them. Well, not all of them. I talked to most of them.
Wow.
Are any of them here in person with you now?
No. One of them, his name's Dylan. He says, but he. And I remember being like, dang. Like everyone's telling me like you're stupid, you're very awkward, like why would you make it? There's millions of people trying, and I just remember being like, I don't know, I just like it. I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna die trying. Also, I was really a big pussy back then, but I just after just grinding year after year, there's probably some blur between when I was 17, 18, 19, somewhere in there to start to get a little bit of views. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it seems like sports is probably the most.
It's really like
accepted
the only
thing,
thing
right?
to
Like,
do,
that's like the accepted thing. Everywhere you drive, it's like
a baseball field, basketball court, soccer. Yeah.
We met someone today and they said they played baseball with you, and then they also said that Chandler was really good at basketball.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So maybe we'll have to take him on next.
We'll
take him on. Like, yeah. I mean,
that was good.
The footage isn't going to show, but I'll just show one clip from the basketball
Yeah, we
game.
played basketball last night, and I think they scored like 2 points.
Okay, 4. By the way, yeah.
It's finished 10-4.
It was me and Sam and he scored like one basket. He's like, look, you showed me before this.
I just want to say that I had a steal before the basket.
That's
So I
true.
had the assist.
Double highlight.
It's interesting because it does seem like sports is like the most accepted thing here, but you dedicate yourself to something completely different. And did you mind at all that feeling of like everyone being like, what are you doing?
Of course. I mean, it's weird. I think the problem is like I told this story years ago, probably would help. It's so much more acceptable now. Like everyone wants to be a YouTuber, everyone wants to be a TikToker. Like growing up now, like you can just tell by the people and the numbers and explosion of social media that like it's a lot more widely accepted. And also it might also be where I grew up. North Carolina is different than LA, but back then like it really just was a strange thing. You know what I mean? To like want to dedicate your life to being a YouTuber and being that obsessed. And so for me, like there's probably like 0 people within a 1 hour radius of me that actually loved YouTube like I did and anything like that. So it's just like if you wake up and every day you obsess over something and you live and breathe and that's what you think about, that's what you do, that's what you study on and off, that's what you stay up every night grinding, and no one else even gives a flying about it.
You sat and like kind of roasted them our content or video. What was that for you to develop a community?
You work 12 hours a day every day for like a year, and you're just grinding. You make a mistake. You make a mistake on Friday. He teaches the other 4 people. Friend number 2 makes a mistake out of the guy who was just solo. We just literally obsessed. One day, I got food. Like, pretty sure I was just ordering food, so I didn't have to leave my house. So
I'm here in person with you now?
No. One of them, his name's Dylan. He says
It's been tough for me to add employees because I had a decision to hire one person.
Have an office or anything.
That's every editor's dream.
Newsflash, someone so much time because I just kind of I want to do this. I bought them to see how they break, and also the videos got really.
And I think that's something.
And that's where. But if you really that isn't work, you should outsource to someone else. You can recharge.
Quá không tìm thấy không?
Most of our videos takes months to produce, and I don't just upload.
Tìm không thấy, giờ phải lục tung mấy cái video cũ lên mới tìm thấy được. Tức là bây giờ mình reaction lại thành tung reaction MR.Beastttt. Nó phải cỡ đấy mới tìm ra được cái đấy, còn tay nó ác luôn ấy. Còn một cái đó mình làm chục cái content không luôn.
Oh yeah, of course.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you?
Oh boy.
MR.Beast. He is the biggest YouTuber on the planet, and he's building empires. I mean, is there anything this man can
Have a large sheet, but I really wanted to get worked out. So it's like 50 more times. Hey,
Haven't you here? You want us into you every say to do what we do. I mean, we've and the unique.
Trời ơi,
We just drove over here in the who you are.
oh boy. Yeah, my earliest years, I'm just
số thế còn
no teenager. It's a lot easier. All you do is talk about you. Anyone?
Parents, mom and dad, you talk about your mother a lot.
No, because they get by and take care of us, or can, like it's like bless her heart. Luckily, it worked out. Because much money and like
Who was looking after you then? If she was busy working and you're at home, your dad's not around. Who takes care of you?
I'm 26 now. I can't really remember life before you.
Why don't you talk about your father much?
Honestly, I found out about it and like the risk accept risk and figured it out. My mom did.
có xem cái trên livestream không?
Hỏi cái kia nữa đi. Tôi có hỏi. Chưa để nó.
Ok. Lát à.
Đồ bọn cái thằng này bắn đâu vậy? Rồi không lên được đánh điện thoại rồi. Điện thoại ơi. Điện thoại đi đâu rồi?
Cái gì vậy? Không tìm thấy. Mẹ. Không rồi. Sắp không rồi.
Mày vẫn khét thế.
Đúng rồi, chiều hôm qua chứ mấy, chiều hôm qua mà. Chiều hôm qua tức là những cái clip chiều hôm qua bây giờ mình phải xem lại hết. Hợp lý. Ý là tôi nói là cái gì mà MR.Beastttt mấy cái thằng mà đi xuyên Việt Nam đúng không? Ý là mấy thằng YouTuber Việt Nam nó lấy cái ý tưởng đi xuyên Việt là từ MR.Beastttt ra đúng không? Hồi chiều qua tôi nhớ tôi có nói nhưng mà bây giờ tôi tìm lại mấy cái mà tôi livestream tôi không tìm ra cái đoạn ấy. Tìm ra mấy đoạn đó là mẹ ơi, chửi mấy thằng ấy luôn. Còn tay ác. Ui. Hồi chiều qua mình có cái gì? Chủ nhật đúng không? Hôm nay là thứ ba, hôm nay là cái này là thứ hai này. Cái này thứ hai thì còn có cái MR.Beastttt nào không? Rồi.
Sao? Được.
And so, like a good, which
Like it was sort of a weird middle ground, and it just left us in a place of, okay, you know what? We're gonna let him speak about his stuff, and everything that's going on before we speak.
And I also don't fault anyone.
Jimmy, we're friends with him.
Yeah.
The fuck?
This game, you're not ready for.
He had yet to speak for a while, and he said that was one of his biggest regrets, was that he did not sort of talk about it sooner. Video.
I'm like,
I think you all really here.
I know.
in LA. I feel like
I think of it as
You're like,
and
really to Casey.
Yeah,
Thôi
I
thì
said,
tôi
I,
còn
you know,
nói
he's
là
like super critical.
mấy
Occasionally,
cái
I was like, video, because he like. The next morning they were talking about what they would have done, and he's like, I think this is gonna like do really well just based on like, you know,
Bảo
all
logic xong
they
rồi.
talk about is what they would have done, and it's like you never really have that kind of moment. So it's interesting. I've gotten that feedback quite a bit. I didn't feel like, oh, the bunch of money it sets to give away a bunch of money. What I think they're not gonna expect is that we also like. I think this is one of the best.
Cái hồi tao vào đây mẹ nó cứ nhảy tí đâu mày. Nó cứ kiểu nó chọc cho tao tức xong rồi nó bắt tao chửi mà tao chửi nó xong cái nó kêu là ui mẹ chửi cũng thấy hay nữa. Chửi mà không nghe được nó nói cái gì ấy.
Like contestant competition show stories like that has ever been put out there. I think all that together, it's just like a blend of things you can't find anywhere else. I think people are just.
Không, ý là nó chọc cho tao chửi nó. Xong rồi tao chửi nó thế là nó lại đéo hiểu gì, thế là nó tao cứ chửi và nó cứ chọc thôi.
Really well.
there's the thing I've been thinking about a lot is streaming platform versus YouTube, right? Because when I watch some of these, I'm like, in the future, does Beast Games just exist on YouTube, right? And even in your original, like a big difference. But YouTube is like on top of streaming.
I think that's what a lot. Oh, Jimmy's not a good storyteller. He just knows how to. We've gotten so much better at getting you to know. Like 100 Days Trapped together with Bailey and Susie.
Yeah,
I think that's a phenomenal video. And so, but yeah, it's but also now slowly, but it's like learn so much that it's like I want the hard part to finish there.
I really think that even though you're scared, great video.
And today I'm opening, you know, streaming platform.
I think
the other things combined together is what I mean. You would think it's fundamentally the same thing, but it just, you know,
it's not though, because
Không, ý là
somebody could be
tao
coming
tin
across
tưởng
this
tụi
video
bay
in real
nữa,
life
tao mới
today
kể ra cho
and
tụi
watch
bay
it,
mà
and
tao
not part of the
không
conversation that happened when it
oh
came
yeah.
out, right?
Well, I mean, it's even developed on more. Like our Ronaldo video, the first 7 days, I think got 100 million views, but that video will go on probably
kiểu
400.
như là tao đã rút một cái dao ra khỏi cái tim rồi mà tụi bay lại đâm vô, hiểu không?
So three times the amount of people that watch the first 7 days will watch in the next 2 years. So yeah.
Right. And so when a show, when it's eventized and it's coming out week to week, it creates
Could do weekly drops of a big show on YouTube. But it's just not the same because like what if it's come into it? Like if yours not coming onto YouTube way through season 2.
Here's how it works. It connects ideas based on your sketch, concept art, search suggested, and home. Now these mock into this thumbnail, and that thumbnail is one of our highest click-through rates on the channel. On your channel, you know that at 60 days, totally free. Give spotters a try, and now back to the show. That's also another major difference here is marketing show.
Way you drop
Marketing problem. Then them through episode.
It's around episode 3, which I happens.
Unless episode 2 is insane though.
Yeah,
So hopefully that should hook people in.
I know. I
because
think episode 2 might be the
totally
greatest thing, like the greatest cliffhanger of all time. Like,
Which begs the question. So we're putting this out when it's already been.
but in the past year, I mean, we've talked about this a billion times because of the in West Africa today on the Prime. hours a day on like complex. Like,
taking on the responsibility.
Yeah, I mean, the shortest answer, it's right pricing, knowing the right. It's like Africa version of like, you know, you just build a business, or you know, because like it's only 10 years. So like, there and they end up not making anything, or these mistakes, and then 4 years later, then bad times it's just they're not getting advice from the right people, and a lot of managers or companies just are taking advantage of creators because they're just not business savvy. Like they didn't.
In what world would you recommend that we do it?
Because again, you have to maintain your YouTube channel, or what's the point if you just kill the thing that's feeding you? So if it's something a creator really wants to do, then yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. Like we talked about before, the way to go deeper with your audience, provide something different, and truthfully, there's just a lot of money in streaming. Like, I didn't make any money off my show, but you know, if I,
It's like if in the next year more YouTubers get into rooms with streamers, and get into negotiation.
Said it's like. It's like I was having to do a lot of educating with a lot of these platforms, which, you know, if I'm, I would say, you know, how big clips you think season 1 is going to crush and you've never done it, that you would theoretically could get an offer like, we'll give you $5 million for season 1 through 3, you know, upfront to difference of. There are people who have negotiated hundreds or thousands of these streaming deals on behalf of other people. First thing I would do is get on the phone with them and educate yourself, and then just say, I don't know anything, and let them handle it, and like, you know, and bring experts in. Don't try to negotiate these with your internal team. If you have a manager who has never negotiated a streaming deal or has negotiated less than 100, don't have them negotiate this deal, right? Because they're going to block you into things. They're going to leave money on the table. They're going to not get you the creative control you need. They're just like, yeah, like I mean, I'm very happy with the deal I got with Amazon, and you know, and it worked out very well. But you know, when I saw like some of the stuff.
Kỹ thuật mày làm tay cái gì? Story tôi biết rồi. Cái 8 giờ 15. Kệ bỏ qua. Đâu? Tiếng Anh mùa chứ? Đâu ra ngon thế? Biểu một kỳ thôi. Cứ anh ra vết thương không lạnh. Đời đâu đâu sao mà
But no, but the studio, the renovations. I mean, like now it's consolidated
Your bedroom, in your even some of the places, brand new studio, but we're here in your hometown. Sounds like, okay, what are you guys doing here?
Yeah.
We're filming, you know, and a lot of people who are from small towns staying here.
Honestly, it really was easier to just stay here. You know, as I started making the videos bigger and bigger, and it cost 10 times more, no need to pay there. Someone I really want to hang out with, like it's like a 4-hour flight.
Yeah, I actually think on the inverse thing, and I think what I realized was being somewhere like this, you're really moving from thing to thing to thing. Like I think we watched you workshop about 4 videos in such a short amount of time.
Yeah,
and that I thought was one of the most interesting things for the space of the story.
Great question. Saved up for added on, and then after like 2, the last like millions of dollars, like, you know, I was like, almost a video don't you see like 8,000?
Did you know that?
And when I was give them just back then, did like 100. They're like, oh my god, you know. No, that was the biggest problem. Is I thought it was a freak of nature because like people would tell me all you do is talk about YouTube. You're too obsessed with YouTube. Like get a life. Like from 13, like back then was.
You have some videos that are actually kind of similar to the videos we make. Where,
like bring that up. Want to talk about South Park when you're younger, or when I was younger, or cartoons or whatever. And I back then was figuring out how to drop ship or how to better edit a video or stuff like that. Like bring that up at high school lunch table. Well, I guess now people care. Bring that up at high school lunch table 10 years ago.
On your channel. You have some videos that are actually kind of similar to the videos we make, where you were talking about other creators.
Or like there's I remember the YouTuber's name, but some YouTubers ad revenue he was hacked and it was leaked.
Like you were uploading Minecraft videos,
and which I think small YouTubers should do is I would reply to every single comment. And so I think coming back, and it's like it got to the point where I was getting
consistent subscriber base coming back to watch these videos.
That's a hard one. I mean, like you're stupid, you know. So I was really a big pussy back then, but I just after just grinding year after year, there's probably some blur, but that was good. Yeah.
Basketball.
Yeah, we played basketball last night. YouTuber and it's just like important. Like subscribers, and we all like we agreed not to drink, we didn't do drugs, like we didn't date, we didn't do anything. We just literally obsessed from time 18 hours so we can for the next week. It's been kind of like my sound.
There's people everywhere. Serious organization. Not only is it been tough for me from even just making that
Didn't have an office or anything.
That's every editor.
But news freedom. I was just like I wasn't play. It's like drop them to see how they break.
All your time.
Exactly.
Right.
No, not every do which video burns so coming out. That's where, and one of the videos takes up an entire warehouse.
The amount of money I can spend actually sitting with your. That is.
The other videos I make money. Right. You know, I think I just
get the money.
Or certain stuff like that. You told me when I was like
dollars on that though. When
care about making money, spend $1 million.
Modern day movie studio.
That's funny. Did
it's actually wait.
So like just. At the end of the day, I just want to be a YouTuber. I don't really care to do that type of stuff. But you know, it's always fun to be like, hey, Netflix, how much would you pay me?
Right. All right. Quick break from our conversation with Jim. Not.
I've been doing, like I said, 4 years. Like it's a very, very, very slow grind hiring all these people. Honestly, there are way more qualified people for that. If someone knows how to find great talent, please reach out to me. I'll pay you.
Yeah, I personally love the creative meetings. I thought those were the most interesting to be in. Just the way you guys are thinking, the way like after we hung out yesterday, I went back and watched the FBI video again, and I watched the first 40 seconds.
It's so important. Like that's your first impression for everyone clicking on the video. So like I like the whole time leading up to that. When you guys see the video, well, you guys know, but it's a pretty cool twist. I just looked like writing down a notepad. And then after the comedy show, I just walked backstage and I just walked up to people and I was like, yo, you're funny. You want a job? And we're in North Carolina. They're like, okay. And I was like, no, look. I like tried to like strategically brainstorm ideas.
It's something similar to your other video. It's something new.
Yeah.
How do you keep new ideas coming? Like how are ideas?
I feel like the ideas have always been great. Even when I was like 17 and like the videos like high me in 5 years. Like have you ever seen someone make a pickup on YouTube? Even to this day, no one's done one. Like I don't know. Like back then I feel like they're pretty creative, counting to 100,000. I don't know, but it's still different. And obviously now I have a lot more help, you know, coming with ideas and stuff. But it's just I like when I was younger. I'm not as hardcore because we got hundreds of ideas now, you know. But when I was younger, like I would train myself like to lucid dreams. So, like when I was dreaming, like you do this thing, leave, and like I would it's like all I did, write it down. I had what I would call like an info diet, and I would always like try to go for a flash.
You mentioned earlier of a life.
Slower days, you know, like typically it's a lot more extreme than that. But yeah, basically impossible. Yeah. Almost every hour of the day. That's what I was doing in math class and English class and English.
They are completely different.
But you guys did a video time?
Yeah, it wasn't exactly about how you were like PewDiePie. I was just saying you are the next person to reach that.
I remember the Mr. Beast, the first YouTube billionaire, and then
there's one.
It's like the number one.
But then we were thinking like, and you keep evolving and changing the way that you're creating.
Yeah, just different people, different aspirations. At the end of the day, like with him, what's admirable is like.
Không ai làm thế. No.
Bận thêm tí nữa không sao đâu Trung à.
Sao ông đặt mục tiêu thấp thế? Nếu mà ông đã chửi ông phải chửi độ Missy này, chửi mấy thằng tú hàng streamer này, chửi NTN này, các kiểu, chửi đại bàng trắng này, Eagle cái gì đó.
90% of creators like they had that in one spot that long. He has videos like super thought it out. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing that I would take with him. Like really, and they're both like, hey, we're willing to. I love it. It's fun to watch. I mean, like, you know, I don't put a ton of thought into it, but when they happen, invite the boys over, get some popcorn, enjoy some dudes,
throw things at you. Well, maybe if I combine it with something else and do this.
Just, you know, training. Bro. I mean, boxing, I think will always be the top.
Two unexpected people together. I thought that the social clubs event was the most interesting out of all of them.
Yeah, but you know what's fascinating is I talk to other people who aren't as like into social media as we are, and they're just like, who are these people? I don't care.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess you have to know who the people
exactly. We're just so entertained by TikTok and YouTube that we know all these smaller people. Or not know of them, but you know, you kind of heard of them. But
and you're just like, wait, what's gonna happen? Okay, so let's go to Logan Floyd. It's just like, what the hell's gonna happen? This guy's bigger than that guy, but that guy's more
the
questions are just so.
Like you weren't looped this screen either. No, exactly how you felt on those is how everyone felt on the social level that aren't like super into social media. If you don't know and you've never heard of them, it's like, I don't care. Yeah, why not just watch professional boxers? You know?
Do you do that? Not when you do person before they win.
A little bit. That's one of the critiques I get that could do better.
Yeah.
It's so hard to like get people attached to someone while also like keeping retention and keeping
Mở quá sàm đi.
You entertain.
enough and like put it there when you see that you just. So there's the one she said was 2 buildings over.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you had office building, the next studio, the next studio, the next studio, the next studio. Now you have all these different studios. Like what?
Ôi,
This
đúng
investment is
rồi.
really significant.
Yeah. I think I walked into a spider walking in here and I don't think I got it. Sorry. You're like, this investment.
Why do you want to be the best YouTuber?
I don't fucking know. Man. I just ever since I was 13, I just made the decision I was gonna be a YouTuber. I was gonna die trying. Sounds different hearing me say it now, but I had that type of like devotion when I was younger. Like even when people tell me, "You're out, I'm gonna die," and like I'm gonna be a YouTuber. You know, I was just like, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. Be like, I don't know, I'm gonna do one. I'm just gonna figure it out. I don't care. Like, subscribers, I would probably work at McDonald's, still just grinding YouTube every hour, not working, and like just going hard until I became a YouTuber.
Do you ever entertain the possibility that one day you won't care about being the biggest YouTuber?
I guess that's not my main focus, but the main goal, as it should be, is to make the best videos possible. Because if you're making the best videos possible, you'll get all the things you want. Like, I want to go Beastburger, we'll make the best videos possible. I want to be the biggest YouTuber, make the best videos possible. So that is what I.
Tìm cái khác đi, cái này chắc không có đâu.
Has to do with operating in the town that you operate in the city that you operate in, that you're like still in North Carolina. Is where you are important to you? Like, does it affect, you think, how you grow the company?
I would not be able to do a lot of the earlier videos we did, or even a lot of the current ones in California, just because land's so much more having the land.
So we're just curious, like, what does your day-to-day focus look like? With all these new businesses, Beastburger, mobile gaming, philanthropy, looking at venture and financing creators, like, what does your day-to-day focus look like?
The philanthropy channel, because all the revenue generated on it goes towards our food pantry and literally feeding people. For YouTube side, we didn't have much. But I think as I started to come into money, for me, there's just always this weird thing. Like I enjoy working, and I enjoy making videos, and I enjoy making money. But it's like, what's the point? Like I don't care to buy an engine. I don't care to do a lot of these things that people do with money. So I always just was like, I didn't really have like an end goal. It always made me feel weird. It's like I'm devoting my life to like make YouTube videos and so I make money. But it's like, what's the point? And then I did that video where I get almost 10 grand, and I started doing other videos for helping people. I'm not like over exaggerated. Like yeah, this is good. It's like I'm kind of happy. And if I had to choose between doing content that goes viral or doing content that goes viral also helping people, I was like I'd rather do one that also just helps people. Because why not? When I'm older, probably in like my 50s or 60s, I just want to take all the money I make throughout my life. Maybe it's millions of dollars, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, maybe it's a billion. I don't know. And I just want to take all that money and I want to just do as much good as possible. Because why not? You know what I mean? Like what's the point? You don't take money with you when you die. And yeah, to me that's just like a world where I make a bunch of money and I don't help people and then I die, or a world where I make a bunch of money while helping people and then give away and help people and then die. Like the latter one just seems a little cooler. Like I'd just rather live that life. I don't have like a better answer besides that. You know what I mean?
How much of that mindset do you think has to do with operating in the town that you operate in the city that you operate in, that you're like still in North Carolina? Is very
razor thin margins and like constantly running out of money.
Program, is that the only way that philanthropy is going to get financed, or are you hoping that maybe other
in a box that you can put in the trunk of your car, and in the box was like hot pan, a blanket, and some non-perishable food that's nutritious. Basically anything and everything a homeless man would need, you know, to just make the life easier. And like it's a box you could buy and then just leave in the trunk of your car, like 2 or 3 of them, not even like a big one. And then if you ever see a homeless person on the street, you can just hand them the box and it would make the life probably 5 times easier, like exponentially better for them than if you just gave them a few bucks. And so I think that's something we could build on the philanthropy channel and then sell for a profit to raise money for our food pantry, and they would also do good. And so I don't just want to be generic and like, here's a shirt, you know, buy this and like we'll do that. But I also want to like build cool things like that that are kind of on brand. And it's like a win-win all around.
Man, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I think it's great. How is that not already a thing?
Yeah, I was just thinking in my head, like, how has the government not thought about that? Or like, I mean, we live in Los Angeles where homelessness is a huge problem. Like, how has someone in LA County not thought of that? That's a great idea.
Exactly, because like, you know, giving them money, you know, if they have addiction or whatever. Not saying all, you know, homeless people do. Like, you just don't know, and like, so a lot of people don't help them because they're worried of that. So like, this is obviously a no-brainer thing. Then no matter what, you can't just help them. You know.
By the way, Darren made that video. Like your interaction with Darren in that video. So
I've heard everyone's like, Darren stole the show. He's the best.
He stole the show. His look at the camera was like iconic. It was so good. Yeah. So I think like as you mentioned, having people that you can trust to help scale all this stuff. The last time we talked, you had mentioned that you want to launch more channels. Philanthropy is obviously one of them. But we looked at your channel that's called Don't Subscribe. That's kind of the housing channel for all the different ones. Reacts Gaming. These formats. Do you think launching multiple channels is the direction to go in this context on YouTube, rather than saying, hey, let's do a reacting format on MR.Beastttt, or let's do a philanthropy video on
No, I feel the thing is like, you know, people come to channels for certain things, right? Obviously I can't do gaming videos on the MR.Beastttt channel because, you know, we're getting 30+ million views a video. Majority of them probably don't play Minecraft. You know what I mean? Just statistically, they probably don't. So if I did gaming videos there, it just wouldn't make sense. It fragment the viewership and, you know, it hurt our, this is all I ever do. So it's like the reaction channel is already, you know, I'm like, I don't care if I mention, I don't care if I Lamborghini. I just want to make the best freaking videos possible on MR.Beastttt channel. And I don't care. Like I'll start 100 businesses and I'll funnel all the revenue into it if I have to. Like I don't care how much money I lose a video. I just want to make great videos.
So the cost of making a main channel video for you has just continued to go up, even through all the success, so much so that you're not.
Like 3 years ago, we were giving away like $10,000 a video. Probably a year ago, it was probably $100,000 a video. I mean, like a cheap video for us is like $300,000-$400,000. You know what I mean? Like 5 houses video was just shy of $1 million out of a video. When we bought 5 houses and give them away. Yeah, they're just getting more and more expensive. Like, but people like them and people aren't doing them. And like, don't get me wrong, to people watching, like money doesn't equal content. I'm not naive, right? I don't think that the more I spend, the better it is. But I do think the more you spend in a strategic way, the better it could be if it's done right, which is how we look at it. We're not just spending to spend. You know what I mean? Like we're putting our brain into it. You know what I mean?
Some of the things you just said are really relevant to the announcement that happened recently around Creative Juice and investing in channels and investing in content. So I'm curious, with that note around money does not necessarily equal content. You know, some of the conversations that we've been having when people ask us about, can you invest in a creator? You know, my initial thought goes to, well, you first want to see if the creator can make content with $0, right? Like when you first started and you're sitting in a room.
things, but we're gonna figure it out as we go. I do know that like typically when a company is growing really fast, like in anything besides YouTube, like they usually pour gas on the fire to explode it. I mean, that's why you do it. You know what I mean? Especially if you have a bunch of competitors, that's how you break away. It's very common. But agreed, you're not just gonna go to a guy with 100 subscribers and do that. Like that doesn't make sense. I think where it would make the most sense is like hypothetically, if you guys wanted to buy like $1 million warehouse and you also wanted to experiment with hiring 10 people. You know what I mean? And so it's like this, on top of it, it's not just money. You know, there's mentorship along with the investment and things like that. And for Juice, like it's not just me. You know, after you ROI your money, it drops down to this very small percentage or whatever. You can do whatever feels proper. You invest in YouTube channels is going to be big, and so it's going to happen sooner or later. So we might as well be the ones that do it.
I really like that the way you're positioning that. You kind of said it similar about philanthropy. It's like, hey, let's launch it. We already know it's going to be a thing, but let's figure it out. Like let's announce it. Let's state our intention, and then let's actually do the work to figure it out.
Well, it's basically there. The thing is, we're going to just launch with my fund, but I hope one day, like everyone, like Marcus Brownlee or ridiculous in like 2 months. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got 10,000 subscribers, hundreds of thousands, and I used to talk to you guys a bunch. We don't talk as much anymore. It's something I just enjoy doing, is mentoring people. So it's also just a way to make it a win-win for everyone. Someone
asked us about Juice in a clubhouse room. And
I showed a guy how to go from like 10,000 subscribers to 200,000 in like 2 months. So you know what I mean?
Right.
I got no financial gain out of it. That's not why I do it. I just mentor people because it's fun. I'm so ridiculously addicted to YouTube and data and analytics that like doing something like Juice just is what I would naturally do if there's no money incentive, which is like to me always like the best type of companies. You know what I mean? Like YouTube, even if I wasn't making money, I'd still do it just because I love it. You know what I mean? So I think they're win-wins.
Are there any channels that as you were growing mentored you in this style, or is this something that you feel like because you're just so invested in YouTube, you started on your own?
I wish. My process was very long and drawn out. I mean, you can watch older videos even before the show. I started when I was 11, and things really didn't click for the first 6 or 7 years. So I was literally just me hammering away nonstop, just like had to self-teach myself every little thing. And I mean, for me, the biggest difference is I met a group of like 3 or 4 people when I was like 18, 19, and we just started having daily masterminds, and we were all sub 10,000 subscribers, like 4 of us. And every day we roast each other's videos, we'd study things, we would subscribers around the same time, we all hit a million. The coolest people until we just eventually 2 years instead of 5. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I know everything more. Like if I talked to myself 5 years ago, I could tell myself 5 years ago how to be where I am now in like 2 years instead of 5. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I know everything I need to know. Like if you gave me a channel with 100,000 subscribers, I could grow it back to tens of millions and way faster than I did before. Because it really is like knowledge is power. You know.
On that note, when you look at Beast Reacts, Beast Gaming's, and Shorts, if you were to be able to invest in one of those, like let's say those 3 channels are yours, which one are you investing in and why?
It's a hard one. I mean, so let's take the people that work out of the equation. Like if we're just investing because like I have some very talented people at all those channels, and I wouldn't be able to do it without those people. But people aside, just purely like the potential growth of the channels, I would say gaming's great, but like gaming does have a cap. You know what I mean? Like you don't see many gaming channels pulling 300-400+ million views a month. But like there are people like Sniper, pulling 600 million views a month on reaction, and I feel like there's a lot of people in those high multi-hundred million, which is not how I run the investment fund whatsoever. But purely just on like potential, I think Reacts, in a year or 2 will be pulling more views a month than gaming. Like I see gaming as like a 300 million view channel a month, whereas like Reacts could get up to like 500 million views a month.
That's so interesting. And Shorts, you came on the scene with Shorts pretty early, and it seems to be something.
I was like the first person I know that made a Shorts channel. I made one, and then literally the next. Like I don't want to upload these on an channel. I was like, I'll just make this Shorts, and then now they're just everywhere. It's kind of funny how much influence we have because I don't even know if that was the right decision. Like, why are we making Short channels? I don't know. I just did it, and everyone's like, no, he knows what he's doing. Let's all do it.
Well, when you and I talked about it in December, you had mentioned that it was pulling a much bigger international audience. I thought that was really interesting, especially in India.
It's perfect for just growing your audience. It's fun, and it's a little bit of a hedge. Like if short form does keep blowing up and growing, like you probably want like just like there's a lot of people that watch Twitch religiously that don't even know I exist, right? And but like XQC, like they think he's like the biggest person ever, because he's large on Twitch. And like there are a lot of people who only watch YouTube that have no idea that XQC exists. You know what I mean? And so I think same thing with TikTok, same thing with every medium. Like you want to at least be involved in some way because everything has these subset of people that like 90% of social media is on that thing, and if you're not on that, you just don't exist on the planet for them.
So let's say that someone does have 100,000 subscribers, they're tracking pretty well on YouTube, and they want to pitch you to get financing and mentor key elements that you're looking for, or that you think make that channel.
Like I said, that we'll figure all that out when it comes. I don't know, and honestly, I'm probably gonna make mistakes on the first video. I just don't know. Like we have our data that will predict how well they'll do and stuff like that. But my goal isn't to just squeeze people dry and like give them bad deals. I genuinely want to create win-wins. And so what a win-win's like, don't know to me, it might seem like after ROI drops down to low percent or whatever. I know without doubt in my mind, if I'm mentoring someone, like there's a high probability I'll double their viewership. You know what I mean? And that I can provide a lot of value. So it's really just figuring it out as we go and just creating a win-win. And like I have plenty of other revenue streams. It's not like I need this to like whatever. So I'm just trying to have some fun and create a platform for. Which by the way, it's Juice isn't mine. We have a lot of people involved in it. But yeah, create something that could be cool.
Taking the financial side out of it, though, when you identify a channel that you want to mentor or that you're interested in, are there some shared characteristics of those channels? What is it that sort of tips you off to think, oh, this is a channel that I think has a lot of upside. This is something I'm interested in.
I would rather work with a channel that knows how to make great content, but doesn't really know how to package it well and doesn't really understand how to grab the view in the first minute, how to hold them throughout. But the videos are just naturally good. It's much easier to teach them that than teach someone who has great titles and thumbnails, but just horrible videos, how to do well, right? Because usually it's like for those people, the ones that already make great videos, it's just teaching them some retention strategies, helping them clean up the video, and then showing them how to make an interesting title. Like that isn't too hard. It can be learned in a few months. But the other way around, I mean, like some people, man, it takes years for them to learn how to make a good video and be good on camera and that type of stuff. So it's much more of a grind.
When you grow these channels, like what we've seen you do is obviously you rolled out your own products. Beast Burger is a great example of that. Now Finger on the app. So it does seem like as you start to grow, the opportunity is to build your own businesses that you can promote through the videos.
Of course,
of course, right? So I'm just curious for you. Like it seems like now with Finger on the app 2 that just rolled out recently, that you're now moving into your own mobile gaming studio, at least from what it looks like on Twitter.
Mobile games are the way to go. They're infinitely scalable, right? Like we have other companies. Right? Oh yeah, we had some big chains that so we wanted to partner with some restaurants, and none of them were interested because everyone saw how well Travis Scott did and stuff like that. And so then just
management side in Night Media, like one of the most well-known that's doing a lot of things with you. I would like to know, like, how do you and Night Media interact on like a week-to-week basis? You and Reed, like, what does that look like? If you take us behind the scenes of what it looks like for.
Is that like brainstorming or that mastermind process still in play for you?
Oh well, I mean, I feel a little excessive. If I had $1 billion, I'd rather use it for something better for the planet. I don't know. I mean, last leaf circle on the moon, last leaf circle on Mars. I mean, they can get as big as you want. I don't care. I'm crazy. You know.
Is that like brainstorming or that mastermind process still in play for you as someone who's coming up with ideas? Like, are you in practice on a weekly basis, just working through ideas, or how does the ideation process continue to get bigger and bigger?
I work very well with inspiration. I used to like just look through a dictionary like nowadays and just like find random words and I'd be like, oh, what's that word? Flower? Can I give my girlfriend 100,000 flowers on Valentine's Day? Oh, that sounds kind of cool. Because like I just take in random words, I see what pops in my head, and like so I love taking inspiration. And that's always worked very effectively for me. It's really just I pay people to like give me tons of different things to get inspired off of. My brainstorming is just like getting as much data as possible and much stuff and having people collect and hand it to me, and then I just look at it and I just see what pops in my head and see how it inspires me. I mean, honestly, we have hundreds of video ideas. I like so I don't do it as much anymore. I used to brainstorm that every day, but at this point, it's kind of overkill. You know what I mean? And I'm happy. I just want us to keep pushing the boundaries and innovating and improving. And if you're not improving, you're dying. I firmly believe.
Is there another platform, like TikTok or Twitter or like this?
In the last 2 years, it's insane. Gaining viewership on YouTube is doubling like that in 2 years. Like it's growing so fast that people are incredibly bullish on
YouTube channels. And is that process?
I do think like in 2 years there'll probably be 10 plus Mr. Beast channels. But I need is more where I'm working. It's like it's not, you know what I mean? Like in squad, it already is because like they all get along well. Whatever.
I think one of the funniest moments from Cameron, you're like, we really do this stuff. Like this is real. And I don't know why it was such a raw moment. And then the video just kind of ends, and you're like, wow, that actually was how it was. Like that's how like the whole.
I appreciate that. I like somehow we had like
so
it's we're probably tell or being so it's like there's not like you're a TV, but my own,
What's your take on that? Matthew McConaughey, Brie Larson, Ryan Reynolds.
Come on over. I mean, like, I'm not one of those persons that's going to be like, oh, they're trying to invade our platform. It's a net positive for all of us. I mean, they're just bringing their fans, like, as much as we want to come on over. You know what I mean? Put me in space or something. I don't know. Depends how weird he wants to get. That, like, 5 years ago or whatever, like, when I was really going all in, like, people were like, oh, it's not stable. It's a fad or whatever. It started to slow descent. It's not like TV's any more stable.
Thread going
I think I'll get it to Travis. Just because you just know what, like, if you're that small YouTuber, that if you do well on YouTube, and I'm not saying like backdoor tricks or anything. I'm just saying I know how to make a video where people want to watch it and where it's interesting. Really anyone can make a good video with the knowledge I have in my head. It's like it's just knowledge. You know what I mean? I could start as your subscriber channel, and get it to millions of subscribers just because you do. And so really, like, if you're that small YouTuber that like wants it, like, how are you learning? If you're on a 3-year journey, how can you shrink it to a 1-year journey by studying YouTube videos 3 times as much every day, or getting a better quality source of YouTube information? What are you studying? Like, or how are you improving? How are you practicing? There's logical ways to go about it, just like with everything else. Just most people don't, and they usually just kind of make the same, like average videos over and over again. Don't really improve much. Don't study much. And like, again, I'm not shitting on that. Do it. You know what I mean? But like, that's not going to fast track you to where you want to be if you really took it serious. So it really just depends how serious you're taking it.
Love it. I think it just reinforces to me the mentorship angle, like 100x. Like I think what you're doing and thinking about the mentorship side is so important.
Here, let me hit you with this because I know we're wrapping up the video. If you're watching this right now, hit the subscribe button right now. Click the subscribe button. I want to prove something to them. I don't know if you guys like really push my. How about this? Let's give $1,000 away to someone who subscribes to your channel in the next 5 days. Hit the subscribe button. Boom. I bet you get a bunch of subscribers. But also make sure you give someone $1,000.
Okay, deal. We'll do that. All right. I thought it was coming from you, but it's coming from us. So we will give it totally fine. We'll give it that.
I was on Quackity's game show. I did the same thing. This makes me lose money when he comes on. It's a running joke. I have a lot of people. I'm on their channels. I make me lose money. But I enjoyed the interview. They grabbed me up.
This was really fun. We hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have 5 days to subscribe and be eligible to win $1,000 again from us, not from Jimmy. From us. That's from us. Jimmy's idea. Our money. And lastly, if you want to hear about what we are up to with our brand new company, Publish Projects, you can put your email in on the website publishprojects.com. Our first project that we are launching is a newsletter for the creator economy. So if you want to stay up to date about news and trends and everything that's going on in this world of creators, make sure to sign up.
Chó lùa gà. Cả một cái video nó chỉ cần một câu từ MR.Beastttt thôi và nó lùa gà. Bọn này hay đấy. Bây giờ ý tưởng hay. Xem hết rồi, không biết ngày hôm qua. Sự ngày hôm qua là ngày thứ hai mà. Cái này tầm buổi tối mẹ rồi. Tối bà rồi. Đây, tầm cỡ đây này. Story. Reflect and stay. Trong cái video. Stop waiting. Có chưa? Hết rồi. Nó lên cái này mình chưa xem qua. Tôi cũng xem rồi nhưng mà nó không xem nữa.
Cơm nhau.
Không có luôn mọi người, trời ơi.
Báo mình đi đâu vậy? Ui giời. Làm thế. Mang lên đi. Làm không?
Không thấy.
I have 8,000 subscribers. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. I'm not holding back. This is my life.
Humans approach to YouTube. I've never seen anything like it. Like, what kind of psycho genius?
I just opened my very own charity. I've never ran a restaurant before. We will be donating $100,000 to Twitch streamer. This is the most expensive firework in the.
I want to take a second to introduce ourselves. If you're new here, and I want to take a second to introduce.
Like 1,000.
So we were just curious, like, what does your day-to-day focus look like with all these new businesses, Beast Burger, mobile gaming, philanthropy, looking at
Really been enjoying running that.
on the philanthropy side? Can you explain a bit more about what the vision is there and what the goal is for Beast?
What's the point? And then I did that video where I gave almost 10 grand, and I started doing other videos to help people. What's the point? You don't take money with you when you die. And yeah, I would not be able to do a lot of the earlier videos we did, or even a lot of the current ones in California, just because land's so much more expensive there. Like the warehouse I have and the land I have here probably would cost 10x if I bought in California, or at least 5x. And like I'm already operating at very razor thin margins and like running out of money. I generate just until we really get our foothold. Things get messy.
Qua giật mẹ đi. Qua.